So you are a university student and it feels like your pockets are always empty. Sorry. Yes, you have a roof over your head and you've got food to eat, but then that's it. It almost feels like you just have enough to stay alive or you pursue your studies so that your studies don't kill you. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about a few ways that you can start combating this thing called brokenness that happens with a lot of university students. Sometimes um, zero loves you so much and it just wants you to stay with them forever. So let's go. Let's do it. Okay, number one is take inventory. Take inventory. So, what do I mean by take inventory? I'm saying that everything that you are getting in your pocket, everything that is every a piece of every cent that is going into your pocket or being used so that you can be taken care of, whether it's rent or accommodation or whatever, or even like miscellaneous items, everything that you are spending on a day-to-day basis. I want you to take inventory of all of it. Yeah, so I'm saying that, yeah, if you're going to pay for gas, if you live within group and whatever, do whatever you can to notice all of your habits. Tracking might be hard, but tracking is very good for you because it's going to help you get a bird's eye view of what's happening with your money, and that's going to help you. That's going to clarify all of your situation so that you can see if there's any loopholes, any way that you can compensate, and what you can begin to work on as you move forward. So take inventory on your income. Where do you get your money from? From your parents, money is coming from your sponsors or whatever. Make sure that you know that. So if you are in 1 2 or in semester 2 or something like that, it means that you have experience being in college already, and your last semester you may have been broke that whole semester. So it's okay.
It's okay to be broke. It's okay to be broke.
But then, yeah, now you have an idea of how much money how much money you needed for everything that you needed. Yeah, I'm sure most of the students going to university right now, including myself, had a sort of like a budget on what they needed to do, what they needed to spend on, and something like that. And then there are small items that we let slip us by, like buying sweets or buying airtime or something like that. We just say they're minor expenses, so we don't mind spending on these things and not tracking them. We just track the big expenses and everything that's going on. But when I'm saying take inventory, I'm saying take inventory on everything. Number two is tracking your expenses. Track your expenses, what you spend on, big or small, everything that you have control over. And then, yeah, take inventory also involves a tracking system. So that's number three. Have a tracking system. Once you've had an overview of what you have spent your money on in the last semester, what you can do is you can track this semester that you're in right now. So when you're tracking your semester, I'm saying every time you spend for something, you track it, you write it down. Now that you have your list, we move on to the second tip that I have for you today. Plan ahead. Now you have your whole list of all the things that you've been doing, all the money that's been coming in and all the money that's been going out. Number two is plan ahead. Plan ahead. What does that mean? Okay, plan ahead means like you're going to try and be intentionally save money. So you may get a little bit of money, barely above what you need, which is necessary for you to survive during the course of your studies. That's how it goes because you're not working, you're a student sometimes, especially in Zimbabwe. We don't have a lot of part-time jobs that you can do while you're going to school. And most of the students going to university are just like boarding students. In a way, they wholly rely on their parents for the duration of their studies. Well, I had that situation as well. So, but I had friends who were working as well. They'd work during the holidays and then they come back. If you're fortunate to have that kind of job, good for you. So, yes, now that you know all of your expenses, you first thing that you can do for planning ahead is plan how much you're going to save. So before the semester begins, you want to know how much, what percentage of the income that you're going to get during the semester you're going to save. You know how much is necessary for you to spend, which is unnegotiable. And you also know how much more you spend besides that because you've been taking inventory. I found myself, I found myself spending only $20 in a month during when I was going to college in one of my years when I started tracking my expenses. That was amazing. Okay, so accommodation was provided. I had to buy my own food basically. Accommodation was provided and transport was provided. The money that you're getting in versus the money that you're spending, you have to make sure first that you're spending less than you're earning. So that means if you're earning, if you're getting, okay, if you're getting up to $40 for each month, it means that you have to spend less than that. It might be 20, 30, 35, but you just have to make sure that it's below $40. So you can start by saving 1% of all the income that you have, that you all the money that you are getting. Don't spend it during the holiday when you go home. That 1% is important. So you have to keep saving as much as you can during the holidays. It's advised that you find a way to make more money during the holidays so that next semester you can still have some more cash in your pocket. You plan out how much you're going to save. 1%, 5%, 10%. That's one, save it. And then as you plan, you also think about cutting down daily expenses. So part of saving is going to require you to live. So in order to live below your means, you have to cut down some expenses. So what expenses are you going to cut down? If it's rent, what you can do is you can if you're paying for a large room, if it's $100 room per month, you pay $100 a month for a room, or it's a room or rooms. I don't know where you're staying for accommodation. One, you can change your accommodation and live somewhere which is cheap, which is a bit cheaper. Maybe it's $80, maybe it's $50, and that's fine. Two, you can live with your roommate if your landlords allow it. You can live with a roommate and you can stay in that room or rooms. The two of you will be paying $50 each per month instead of 100. And then yeah, that's for rent. That's for rent and accommodation. And then for food, what you can do is you can buy less food or less expensive food. Sometimes you can find that you can eat the same amount of food, or even nutritious food of the same quality, but it seems that you'll be paying more than the next guy because you're buying from a certain shop. So what can you do when it comes to food to save for food? So for food, it's simple. You can buy in bulk. You can buy a box of spaghetti, a 5 kg or larger, a package of rice instead of a smaller one. You don't eat out a lot. You cook your own food. You buy gas. Yeah. So sometimes you buy gas. Most of the students today living in apartments or whatever, they have their own gas. They have to go buy their own gas and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not that yam. We like meat. We like meat. We like meat. We like to eat meat. So I'm saying that uh, cut down meat, like buy less meat or buy from a store, from a butcher that is cheaper. Find a cheaper butcher around you or around some area. Buy a live chicken. Buy a live chicken or dressed chicken, and rather than buying it from a store, or buy cutlets instead of buying like more expensive items. You can buy, okay, so in Zimbabwe, you can buy gizzards. You can buy chicken feet if you really want meat, but you don't want to pay a lot for it. You can buy chicken feet. I don't know. And you can even buy chunks. I know some people don't like buying my chunks. I don't eat chunks. I don't eat chunks. But chunks is also tricky because you can buy cooking oil. You can lose out on cooking oil. You can watch YouTube videos on how to make this food taste nice, better than you are able to cook it. Even if you're not a chef, you'll be able to. You right now we have access to ChatGPT. We have access to We have access to ChatGPT, we have access to YouTube, the internet, all these things. They can help you cook better food for cheaper, and you can save more. And yeah, buy oats or buy oats or buy the 2 minute 2 minute cereal rather than buying Cerevita, which is more expensive. This I like Cerevita. It hurts me that it's so expensive these days. But yeah, so you like high quality oats like Rice Krispies. Forget Rice Krispies, bro. Buy normal cornflakes, oats, or instant porridge those types of porridge for breakfast, for lunch. Then you have your own snacks. You buy them in bulk. You buy your noodles in bulk. Yeah, you buy everything in bulk. Yeah. Eh, Especially for me, I have a tendency to eat too much in a day. Like every time I want to snack, I just go into my stash and I just go and eat. I don't have a set I don't have a set time when I'm going to eat. But you need to make sure that it lasts the month. So you need to be able to budget for that. So it's very easy for you to spend less for food. It's just that sometimes we don't want to. We want the drumsticks, we want the high quality meats, we want, yeah. And sometimes we don't even want to eat, we don't even want to cook. You know that we don't have enough, but we're going to buy pizza, we're going to buy burgers. Stop it. Also, plan out a study schedule, plan ahead. So sometimes you see that the way that you carry out your studies can influence the way that you carry out your degree, the way you study, the way you attend lectures and keep up with everything. You see that it's a little bit stressful, so it influences how much you're going to eat, how much you're going to spend. And if you're not prepared, you end up spending more because, yeah, you're stressed out and there are some emergencies that need to come up. So you need an allowance. First of all, you need an allowance besides the money that you're going. You need to save for emergencies, for emotional spending, and you need to save for the long term or for your business, for investments, or for any project that you want to start. So you plan ahead. So I really advise a student going to university to start a side hustle. We're going to talk about that next. Earning money, increasing the income that you have already. Okay, so plan out your study. That's another part of the planning stage. Plan ahead. So plan out your study. So when you get your course outline, you get your topics. You spread out your topics to the time when you'll be writing your exams, and then you plan out your study. Yeah, some of the times your lecturers may want to give you pressure and give you like 5 assignments that are due next week. But most times they give you adequate time for you to do the assignment. An assignment takes you about a week. If you get it on Monday, don't do it next Saturday or Sunday when you have only today and tomorrow before next lecture on Monday when you have to submit it. When you get it on Monday, you plan out maybe on Tuesday. If you don't want to do it on Monday, you plan out your assignment on Tuesday. Wednesday, you start writing. You write your first page. Thursday, you write your second page. Friday, you write your last page, and then Saturday and Sunday, you're just editing plagiarism, APA, Harvard style, whatever, reference citing and everything. By the time you reach on Monday, your assignment will be finished, you'll be coherent, and you won't have any pressure. When you have stress in the planning out stage, when you're planning out your studies, you tend to spend more, eat more, do yeah, go away from budget because your mind is not settled and you don't feel like you're in control. So plan out your study. That's going to help you save money. Did you know that? The next tip that I have for you is create sources of income. So this is something that I've been trying to do while I was at college. So you could sell airtime, but that's like $400 you spend, you get 10%. So that's not a lot. So, but if you want, you can sell airtime. If you can get a lot of customers, you can get it going for a short period of time. You can sell a lot of airtime for a short period of time. A lot of universities have Wi-Fi, so they may not need the internet during the week, But maybe during weekends, if they live close by, you can go and sell airtime so that they can use during the weekend. Maybe they need it for WhatsApp. Maybe the internet and the Wi-Fi of the university is slow, which happens quite a lot. Slow internet means people want to buy more data for them for their own phones because it's easier to manage, and maybe they want to use the Wi-Fi and the data together so that they can, they can support the person. If it's a budgety person, sometimes they don't care. So yeah, sell airtime. What else? We've got beauty. Women can, women know how to crush marasta, crush rasta, or to braid, or to whatever. Girls need to take care of their hair from time to time. If you're a guy, you can also do that. If you're good at it, you can do that. Why not? So yeah, you can get extra source of income from doing that as well. Cupcakes, muffins, samosas, and pies. So if you like to cook, you can cook these things and you can bring them to the university. Sometimes though, you'll be competing with people who already sell around campus, who already sell these things around campus. You can sell to your classroom, your roommates, people who stay in your hostel, if you stay in the hostel, or people who you live with at home. I mean, if it's an accommodation that is outside the university, maybe you can cook for those people who are stay other students who are staying you at the accommodation provided outside the university, and they can also enjoy those samosas and those treats that you'll be able to cook. Yeah. Snacks are also an option, so you can buy in bulk and then you sell them as single items. If it's a small university, sometimes there's no tuck shop. Or the tuck shop is expensive. If the university is on the outskirts, it means that you need to go to town to get certain things. You can go to town. You can provide those services. You can provide those items instead of them going to town, spending $1 or 50 cents just to go to town to buy a bottle of mazole. You can buy those things in bulk. You keep them in your room if it's not going to get rotten, and then you sell it again for your fellow students. Okay, you can also do printing. If you have enough money, you can buy a printer. Sometimes the university doesn't provide printing services, so you have to find your own printing somewhere. Maybe you have to go into town to get your documents printed every day. Maybe you don't want to do that. And if there's maybe they don't want to do that, maybe they want you to bring the assignment for them and the university instead. If they go to the same university as you, most likely they may like the service whereby you deliver the printouts, the assignments, whatever, on campus before their lectures after they finish writing, so that they don't have to go to town. They cut down the time. They're more than willing to cut down to buy from you instead of buying from town, because you give them value for their money. We also have assignments. Assignments. You can do assignments for these guys. People are lazy in university. They just want to have fun in university. They are grown now, so they don't want to go to. They don't want to write their own assignments. Writing assignments is tedious. This these days, like, yeah, in high school they were writing assignments. In high school, assignments did not have referencing, did not have all these citations and all this. It's not unnecessary, but it's just what is required in university. You need a reference list, you need in-text citation, you need a cover page, you need to structure your essay and all this stuff. All these things, they're tedious and they take a lot of time, and it requires them to do them in advance, and it takes a lot of time from their when they just want to relax. So most students will be willing to pay for you to write their assignments. You charge affordable rates because these are students. You don't want to make them pay too much for their assignments, otherwise they'll just much rather do them by themselves. So you can do that for them. Yeah. Get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job if you can. It's great. So most of the students that go to university, like in my experience, getting a job is very difficult, but if you can, by all means, go get a job, do the job. It'll make your life much easier. Yes, you'll be spending more time in university, less time to study, or you may be exhausted, but that you find that the money is going to help you a lot because it means that you're going to be able to take care of some of your expenses, and it's going to be easier for you to save a little bit of cash on the side, and you'll be able to do other stuff that you want to do besides university. So you can find out with your university if they provide work for you to do, so that instead of paying the entire school fees, it gets reduced for you. But you have to find out if you can get the money from your parents that you would have paid for school fees. Because sometimes if they see that you're working, they may decide, since you're working, there's no need for me to pay this amount. We just pay that amount that we're supposed to pay, and you'll be saving the money, which is good. You'll be saving the money, but the money doesn't go into your pocket. Just bear in mind, sometimes they just like, let's make life, you are making life easier for your parents. But if they allow you, if they give you the money, if they give you the money that you would have paid for school fees, then that's great. Then you can use that money for other things that you would like to do and get some cash into your pocket. Hey, you can also get a job outside the university. There are people who like you would like you to take care of their household. Maybe you can go and stay there while you take care of the place. You go to university, come back, you take care of the place. That means you have accommodation that you don't pay for, and you're earning extra money that you can use for something else. That's killing two birds with one stone. That's very genius. Okay, so those are the three tips that I have for you today. So I want to know, what are some of the things that you are doing in order to fight this battle called brokenness as a student, so that you don't have to stay broke. Yeah, you don't earn 200, 300, $400, but you are managing to save 10%, 5% of the time. Comment down below, what are you guys doing? What other advice would you give to someone who is maybe broke all the time in university, and how and it will help them a lot, and some of the things that you would like me to discuss further and go deeper. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely day or evening or morning, wherever you are, whatever you're watching.